What's up, Enchanted community, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, as you all have seen the thumbnail and the title of today's video, we're going to carry on having a look at my Motherlode collection. So this is the Motherlode Part 2. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're going to start off with the 12 Dogs of Christmas. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Next up, we've got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Deluxe Edition with the slipcover. Here's the back. Here's disc 1, disc 2. The Untouchables. Here's the back. Here's the disc. We got Oceans 11 and 12. Here's the back. Here's Oceans 11 and 12. Next up we got Flight 93. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Mamma Mia the movie. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Here's the back. Here's disc 1, disc 2. Gran Torino. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Here's the back. Here's disc 1, disc 2. Salt. I've also got this one on Blu-ray. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Green Zone. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Shutter Island. Here's the back. Here's the disc. The King's Speech. Here's the back. Here's the disc. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Now on to the next pile. We've got one of my favorites in this pile. We've got Iron Man 3. Here's the back. Here's the disc. We got Blue Jasmine. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Another copy of Blue Jasmine. Here's the back. Here's the disc. The Book Thief. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Jason Bourne. Here's the back. Here's the disc. And we got Gerard Depardieu. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Includes 1492 and Green Card. Here's the back. Here's Green Card and 1492. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Then we got Cats and Dogs. Here's the back. Here's the disc. What We Do in the Shadows. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Les Miserables. Here's the back. Here's disc 1, disc 2. Cats. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Racing Stripes. Here's the back. Here's the disc. West Side Story, I've also got this one on VHS. Here's the back. Here's the disc. The Phantom of the Opera in this drawer cover. Here's the back. Here's the disc. A Day at the Races. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Alice in Wonderland. Here's the back. Here's the disc. And that was our final movie. And we're going to move on to the next stack. We've got Delta Force on this PC CD-ROM. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Then we got Leroy Soleil, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, on the slipcover. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Then we got The Singing Detective on BBC DVD, including Michael Gambon. Here's the back. Here's disc 1, disc 2, and disc 3. Then we got Slumdog Millionaire. Here's the back. Here's the disc. And to end off this video, we have got a video game of The Sims 3 Pets Expansion Pack. Here's the back. Here's the disc. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys have absolutely been brilliant. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe. This was part 2. I've got part 3 and 4. So this entire series is going to be split into 4 parts. I've still got other DVDs here from like TV shows, but those are going to be in the next part. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you all in part 3.